Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your boy CTG, and I'm back at you guys with another banger of a UFC 5 video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to deal with bobbleheading in UFC 5. Now, I wanted to make this video because if you guys have played the last two UFC games, being UFC 4 and UFC 5, then you have ran into a bobbleheader, and it is one of the most annoying things to have to deal with in UFC 5, man. It allows people to get themselves out of terrible situations that they've played themselves into, and it's borderline spammy, man. It really, really is. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some effective ways to deal with this style of play, so that way when you do run into these type of guys in online ranked championships or in league fights, you know how to deal with them, what the best course is to deal with these guys. So my inspiration for making this video is because I did just watch the fight that you guys are about to see right now in a Martial Mind video. Shout out to Martial Mind. He's a really big UFC 5 content creator. If you guys don't know who he is, I'm going to leave the link in the description to his channel. So make sure you guys, if you haven't, go and sub up to his channel and watch the content that he's been dropping. His road to top, I believe he's going for the number 1 rank in UFC 5. So if you haven't peeped those out, definitely go and do that. But we're going to be breaking down a fight that he did here with Islam Makhachev. He's going to be taking on a Conor McGregor here. And this guy actually is somebody that I used to fight in UFC 3 named Monkey God. So you guys are going to hear Martial Mind's commentary. And I'm going to pause it when I can to tell you guys and give you guys my point of view. And the main reason why I'm doing this is because I want you guys to see it from two different perspectives. Martial Mind is an elite level player in himself, so he's going to give you some advice, and then I'm going to pause it and give you guys my advice as well. So you're kind of getting double the amount of info in one video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get it popping.
All ready? We're back with Islam Makhachev.
Let me turn the audio down just a little bit.
Monkey God, of course. I'm not surprised. Monkey God. The head movement, the bobblehead. Are you still bobbleheading, Monkey God, brother? Or have you stopped bobbleheading? Let's see. Looks like you're still bobbleheading.
So, all right, see, first tip that I have for you, obviously right here, is when you see somebody doing that type of movement that Monkey God was just doing, how it might seem like he's reactively slipping, but he's not. He's not. He's really preemptively slipping what he thinks is going to come back. And this can be classified as bobbleheading. So what Marshall said right here is true. It looked like he's still bobbleheading because he is. He's slipping, and really my definition of bobbleheading is slipping with no intent to slip a strike that's coming out or to try to counter. You're just moving your head for no reason in a way that really would mess up the tracking. So you see right there, he wasn't even, it's too early in the fight really for him to be telling what Marshall is going to be throwing back at him. So first tip is when you see guys start to do this, you need to take a step back and understand what you're looking at. When you see somebody moving their head off like that and really not even slipping strikes, you know what type of fighter you're going up against. You're going up against somebody who's going to be bobbleheading. So first tip I have for you, notice what you're seeing when somebody's doing that. They're going to be bobbleheading if they're moving their head off a lot.
It's a different game, brother. You better relax. I know you think this is... okay, you're about to get whooped. You're about to get whooped. I love facing some of these older players who used to give me a rough time now and just running right through them. So, like...
All right, so I wanted to pause it right here to give you guys tip number 2. You see what that caused Martial Mind to do, knowing that he's going up against Monkey God and knowing that Monkey God is going to be bobbleheading. It made him take a step back and really put together a game plan to counter this bobbleheading style. Now, there's multiple things you can do. And you guys are going to see Marshall do a couple of these things that I'm going to talk to you guys about right now in this fight. Number one is you can be patient, play the patient game, pick and choose your shots. If your opponent is going to stay up against the cage, pick and choose your shots. It is an option for you to do. Number two, you can work the leg kicks, which is what you guys see me do a lot of the time when somebody's bobbleheading. You can kick their legs. That's a viable option for you to do as well. You can go down to the body and start trying to do body work. That's effective as well, but that leaves you a little bit more vulnerable to getting countered with block counters and stuff like that. So that's a risk. You can grapple them like you see Marshall doing right here, or you can just pressure forward and wait for them to slip into one of your combinations. Those are just 5 of the options that you have against bobbleheaders in this game. And they all can be effective, but some of those are going to be better in certain situations than others. So like right here, Marshall seen Monkey God wasn't just staying back on the cage. Monkey God started to press forward, and Marshall doesn't want Conor to be starting to gain any kind of steam or any kind of momentum heading forward. So what he did was he caught that teep kick to the body where Monkey God was trying to push him up against the fence. He caught it. He turned him with his foot. He walked him back into the cage and hit him with a clean turning. I want to say it should have been a single leg. It was a single leg. He hit him with a clean single leg turning takedown off of the cage and immediately got him into side control. So we see Marshall's going with the grappling approach early in this first round, which is a very, very viable tool if you're using somebody like Islam against somebody like Conor. Marshall should be able to hold this position for a little bit. And even if he doesn't, it puts the thought in Monkey God's mind, hey, you know what? This dude's going to take me down. So I don't want to be throwing teep kicks or front kicks or anything like that, because if he catches it, he's going to take me down. So, this starts the mental warfare with somebody that's going to be bobbleheading. So tip that I have for you, obviously, is all those different play styles, but you have to choose the right one according to the fighter that you're fighting up against. So we're going to continue to play the video here, and you guys will see what I'm talking about.
Now he's about to find out. I don't even know how you denied that. I don't even know how you denied that, bro. That was muscle modified and everything.
All right. Just a little side tip for you guys that don't know what he's talking about right here, where he's talking about he doesn't know how Monkey God denied that. When you're in sprawl like that and you're the dom fighter in that position, so he was the dom fighter, he was trying to transition to backside. When you hold R1 and transition, it does what we like to call a muscle modifier, which means it's going to speed up the transition speed, which is going to make it that much harder for the defending fighter to deny that. So what he just said right there is he doesn't know how Monkey God denied it because it was sped up with the muscle modifier. That's what he means. And for those of you guys that don't know how to do that, it's going to be R1 on PlayStation and RB on Xbox to do a muscle modifier transition. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to make the transition just a little bit faster. So that way it's a little bit harder for your opponent to block. But honestly, in my opinion, Monkey God was able to block that transition from Marshall Mine because he just preemptively denied it. He preemptively denied it. It's very, very hard to deny that on reaction. There's very few guys that can do that. So my guess would be Monkey God preemptively denied it, or he denied it before Marshall was even trying to do it. So just a tip for you guys that don't know about muscle modifiers in that sprawl position. That'll help you gain the backside position just that much easier without your opponent being able to block it. So let's continue on. So you see here, Marshall's taking his time. He's not rushing him.
Okay.
And see what I was talking about with those options earlier, where I was telling you about going down to the body. Marshall is mixing up the options, right, that he has. He grappled him initially, right, Got Monkey God thinking about it. Now he's trying to blend in the body punches. But like I said, the danger in that is you're susceptible to getting block countered. And that's exactly what happened. Marshall got block countered. He got uppercutted and got stunned. So just be aware that if you're going to be going down to somebody's body, you run the risk of getting block stunned. But the good thing is that puts another thing on Monkey God's mind. He has to be aware of the body shots. So now Marshall can mix in the calf kicks. He can do stuff like that because now Monkey God has to worry about him going down to the body when he's up close. So if Marshall just takes a half a second off beat and throws a calf kick, Monkey God's not really going to be expecting it. So Marshall's really giving Monkey God a lot of stuff to think about right here in terms of the options that he has at his disposal to combat this bobbleheading style. Right there, he catches him. Nicely, there's the bobblehead.
It's okay. It's okay. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. I haven't forgotten, brother. I haven't forgotten.
Now, you see what another thing that I was talking about earlier with the options? Marshall did another option that I had talked to you guys about, and that was he just stayed patient. He got Monkey God hurt, but instead of him trying to go wild and trying to get him out of there, he just let him slip. He made him look very foolish, which if you go back and rewatch it, he looks very, very foolish, just slipping off, and he's not slipping any strikes at all. He's just preemptively trying to slip so that way he doesn't get hit with anything. And that's what bobbleheading is. Bobbleheading is people getting themselves into a bad situation and trying to get out of it by exploiting broken mechanics in the game. And that is a broken mechanic. Just bobbleheading and moving your head left to right or doing all this stuff that really makes the tracking go wonky. You know what I mean? But Marshall did a good job of just staying patient. And I know he laughed about it. He laughed about it like, oh, let him go, let him go, let him go. I could tell you, bro, there's nothing more annoying than seeing somebody bobbleheading. So he did a good job staying patient. You've seen him throw a couple of lead hooks because of the direction that Monkey God was slipping. But now that Monkey God's seen that, he's going to make the read and start trying to go down and ducking. So Marshall's got to be careful. He's got to continue to stay patient when he gets him hurt. And that's a tip. Don't go wild when you get a bobbleheader hurt, because these are the scenarios that they want to put you in. And these are the things where these are the times when they try to capitalize on you being too aggressive. And then you put yourself in a really bad spot against somebody like Conor once your stamina is down to 50% and you get hit with a counter, because then he could easily put you out. So I believe that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, do not go crazy against bobbleheaders. Take your time, be patient, and make the reads.
Let him go. Let him go. I'll slowly chip away. I'm not going to make the mistake. I'll just slowly chip away.
There you go. See?
But this guy, man, when you rock him, don't make the mistake of like teeing off. Because it's like he's freaking mastered whatever head movement style he does, and he will make you miss. Next thing you know, you're freaking gassed. So
exactly what I just said. Marshall just literally almost verbatim repeated what I just told you guys. He's trying to get you to gas, and he's trying to hit you with a counter shot. He is. So staying patient and not going buck wild on somebody like this is super important.
We'll just chip away. I'll keep rocking him. And I'm actually gonna outstrike him with Islam. There's no need to get the fight to the ground. We'll just keep it standing. Front kick next. I know it. I know front kick next. Because you think I'm gonna duck, right?
Now you see the style of fight right here that Marshall is fighting? He's being patient, and he's not just standing straight in front of Conor McGregor. He's not. He's playing on the outside. And why he's doing that is because even if he said, you know what, I'm not going to strike, I'm going to try to strike with Conor, I'm not going to try to grapple him, This range right here forces Monkey God to walk forward. It's going to force him, if he wants to engage with Marshall, he has to be the one that's walking forward and launching shots, which is going to open him up to counters by Marshall. But this also allows Marshall to implement grappling if he needs to. If he gets caught with something from the distance, or, you know, if he feels threatened in any type of way and feels like he absolutely needs to shoot for a takedown, he can do it effectively without having to worry too much about getting hit with an uppercut. You feel what I'm saying? So, great patience right here from Marshall Mind. He's decided he's going to stand up, and he's mixing in and he's blending in all these different styles of play that are great against bobbleheaders in this game. He's staying patient. He's working the body. He's shooting for takedowns just to he shot for a takedown earlier in the round to make Monkey God think about it. And he's staying patient. And look at where Monkey God's stamina is at. He's been rocked multiple times in this round. So Marshall is doing an absolutely brilliant job of dealing with this annoying ass style of play. Nice jab hook.
Let him go. Easy, easy, easy. Yeah. You guys can see me like itching to like go and get him, but like I gotta calm myself down and I'll just keep rocking him. I'll rock him. I'll try a little bit. If he, evades 2 shots or so, I'll stop. I'll just stop. I'm not gonna keep going. And I'm also not gonna go to the body, because with this style, the natural reaction is, okay, I rock him, go to the body. He has a very quick draw with the uppercut counter. So I'm not gonna go to the body and get uppercut countered either. I will just keep chipping at him until I eventually rock him to a point that he's just gonna die. This fight will be finished.
All right, so Marshall literally just gave you a lot of information on what he's doing, right? So we talked about the options earlier. We talked about different ways to combat this style. And like he said, the natural instinct for you when you see a bobbleheader is to immediately go down to the body. And they know that. So they're going to start building up that quick trigger with the block counter uppercut. And he knows that. He knows that Monkey God is really, really quick on that because he got caught with it. So that's why he said, I'm not going to go down to the body. So if he's not going to go down to the body, then he's eliminated that option. So now the option that he has, number one, is he's still going to maintain his patience. He said that. I'm not just going to spam and go wild on him. And you seen why at the end of that first round when he rocked Monkey God. He went a little crazy, and you seen how quickly his stamina drained trying to get Monkey God out of there. It drained to 25% within the blink of an eye. He was down at 25%. And you can't be doing that against guys that bobblehead, because if they hit you with a one clean combination with Connor, like I said, it's a problem. So you're going to start to see him adjust. He's made the read. He knows really what game plan he wants to do against this. He's eliminated the body shot, so he's not going to be going down to the body heavy. But you're going to start to see him work in some calf kicks. And the calf kicks, like I said, are a viable tool to use against bobbleheaders, because you don't have to be standing directly in front of them to land them. And it's a lot harder to time a counter off of a calf kick than it is to time a counter off of a body shot, because of the distance that you can throw calf kicks and leg kicks at in this game. So you're going to start to see him utilize that. You're going to see him start to stay patient, press Monkey God up against the cage, and do different stuff like that. But as we go along, I'll break down to you exactly what he's trying to do and how he's being really effective with doing it.
I've got 5 rounds to work, and his head health is getting nice and butchered. Here we go.
All right, I want to go back real quick for you guys, because this is a really important thing as the fight goes on. You guys are going to see right here, Monkey God shows his hand of what he's going to try to do in terms of landing a counter shot. He pull counter elbows here, and I want you guys to pay attention, because this is a very important piece as the fight goes along.
This fight will be finished. I've got 5 rounds to work, and his head health is getting nice and butchered. Here we go.
Straight.
Box him in.
Still staying really patient. It's good
It's amazing
stuff
how
there.
players' styles just does not change, man. It's like players have their tendencies, and they never change. They just keep doing the same thing they've always done. And I have my tendencies as well. There's certain things that I've done throughout all the games.
Right there was really, really clean work. Another tip that I have for you is you mix in your offbeat combinations. Now, you guys have heard me say this a lot. I say this damn near in every one of my striking videos. Offbeat combinations are super important. And that's why. What you just seen Marshall do right there is literally the epitome of offbeat combinations. He walked forward through a combination. Monkey God thought, hey, you know what? It's my turn to go. He just went. Marshall knew it. He loaded up another combination. Absolutely obliterated Monkey God as Monkey God was starting to try to throw a combination of his own. So another tip for you, learn these situations. Learn how to use your offbeat combinations because they really come into play against guys like this if you're looking to get a finish. If you're looking to ride it out to a decision, then offbeat combinations still are viable, but they are not as important as they are if you're trying to get a KO and get this guy out of here as quickly as possible.
Now that right there is a drop. That's a drop. No, come on now.
Full counter elbow again. There's a calf kick.
Slip straights now. Okay. Let's be careful with that. Start working the legs a little bit. Okay.
Now, I want you guys to go back and re-watch how Marshall set that up. Marshall was trying to kick Monkey God's legs in the middle of a slip. So he was overloaded. He was cracking off that jab, right? Getting Monkey God's block down, chipping away at it. And so Monkey God had to make a move. He had to, or else he was going to get block broken. So one of the ways to set up leg kicks is by doing that. Throw your jabs, throw your straights, throw your jab. Just touch the block. And it'll force your opponent to want to either counter it or try to major lunge out of the way. And when they do so, you make the correct read, you calf kick them, and that's where you get the most damage at. That is where you get the most damage out of your leg kicks against guys like this, is in their slipping animation. So he actually caught Monkey God, I believe, twice at the very tail end of the slip animation. And it did a lot of damage. It did some pretty solid damage. Not like crippling damage, but it did some solid enough damage to where now Monkey God's going to have to worry about it. He's going to have to worry about it. He's going to start to be like, okay, you know, this is something that he's using now. He's chopping out my leg. I gotta pay attention to it, because if he keeps going to it, he's gonna really render me in one spot to where I can't move off laterally, and then he's gonna tee off on me. So, like I said, leg kicks and calf kicks are a very viable tool against guys like this. And Marshall has now introduced another gameplay style into this fight right here that Monkey God might not be ready for.
Okay. He's got skill. Definitely has skill. Come on now.
All right, right there, I want to go back. Just where we at? 1642. I want to go back to 1637. All right, so remember what I was telling you guys earlier? About making them reads? This is why it's important to pay attention to what your opponent is throwing. Because Marshall knew Monkey God has been trying to counter with the slip elbow. Now, this time, or with a pull elbow, I'm sorry. This time he doesn't pull elbow, but he tries to throw another pull strike. But because Marshall made the read, he pulls the pull and lands a combination of his own and really hurts Monkey God right here. So we're going to slow it down. And this is another tip that I have for you guys. Be able to pull the pull against somebody that's bobbleheading. Because if you can pull counter their pull counter, you're going to land some massive damage.
Definitely has skill.
So right here, we backed it up a little bit too much, but we'll go through it. There's a pull. There's a pull from Marshall. Pull elbow does its job.
Come on.
Landed a clean pull counter elbow of his own. And really, look at Connor's health. That health is just down low. Just beautiful stuff. Beautiful work, Marshall. Beautiful work, brother. Damn, I love watching bobbleheaders get annihilated, man. I could watch this stuff all day.
Now. Come on, brother. Come on now.
Look at the bobbleheading. Marshall staying patient. Now. Double elbows. Look at it. Just pitiful style of gameplay.
This is funny as fuck. But yeah, that's Monkey God, man. That's what he does. That's just what he does. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Bro, you're not.
Now look at this. Look at this. This is when you know, and I've told you guys this before. Another tip for you. When you get a bobbleheader to start grappling you, you know you've won the fight. You could chalk it up as a W, bro. Chalk it up as a W. Because these dudes don't want to grapple. They want that bobbleheading style to work so damn bad. So when you do get your opponent to grapple you, and they've been bobbleheading the entire fight, especially somebody like Conor McGregor trying to grapple Islam, you know you've won the fight. It's done. It's signed, sealed, delivered. 99% of the time, you're going to win these fights. And the 1% that you do lose, it's because you've made a really, really bad mistake. So a tip for you is be aware. For those of you guys that don't have good defensive grappling, get your defensive grappling up. Because when you start playing like this and you start implementing successful game plans against bobbleheaders, they're going to resort to any like foolishness they can to try to get a win. And that might be taking you down to the ground with a striker like Conor McGregor. They might clinch you up and try to go for a standing guillotine. They might start trying to throw all these flying subs at you. So this is where you need to understand, number one, what situation you're in, and number two, be prepared to defend all types of things. Because they're going to start throwing the kitchen sink at you when they feel like they can't win with that bobbleheading style. So another tip that I have for you.
You're not going to out-grapple me with Conor, bro.
You didn't go for an armbar. Now, I want you guys to see here why I tell you that they did that right here. Monkey God is throwing something that he's not prepared for and doesn't do a lot of the time. Because look, he punched Marshall's head like 4 or 5 times and drained his stamina down to about 50 to 45% before ever even going into the armbar. That is such a foolish mistake that a rookie makes. A rookie. This is this type of gameplay from a Division 5 player. They're going to punch you and punch you and punch you, then go for a sub. This is not work from a high-level player. It's not. It's not. Because now, all Marshall has to do is hold R1 and struggle, and Conor's stamina is going to hit 0 before his. So now what you're going to see Monkey God do right here is he's going to try to compensate for the stupidity of the movements that he did before he got into the armbar right here. And you're going to see Marshall just pretty much embarrass him with what he does right here. So I'm going to let it play out and then explain to you what happened.
Show me. Come on, man. Oh, he's evolved. That wasn't bad.
All right. So what Marshall did right there, Monkey God was trying to compensate for having low stamina by just faking the submission 5,000 times. He went up, faked up. And Marshall was like, you know what? I don't even need to struggle with this guy because he's just faking. So He faked one too many times. Marshall blocked it, then struggled a little bit, and then immediately transitioned out of there. Easy submission defense against somebody who doesn't like to grapple. So, like I said, knowing the defense to every single situation is super important when you're going up against guys like this, because you knowing what's going on and reacting accordingly is what's going to win you the fight against these type of guys. Because I can guarantee you now, Monkey God, he feels hopeless. He knows that this fight is pretty much over because he's not going to be able to sub Marshall. He's not going to be able to keep him down on the ground. That was his last ditch effort to try to get a win on Marshall Mine. Easy sub.
You wanted it. You wanted it. Very good.
In that round, towards the end of that round, Monkey God really got in such a panic because his bobbleheading style wasn't working. He actually helped Marshall Mine with a game plan. He took Marshall Mine down, made a really big mistake, and then ended up paying for it by getting stuck in that Kimura. So this is what I'm saying. He's starting to break. And this is why you don't play with this style of play. You don't rely on broken mechanics to get wins in the game, because you're going to run into somebody that is not going to have it. They're going to be able to outwork you. They're going to outskill you. And you have no chance of winning against this person. Unless Marshall right here makes a crucial, big, idiotic mistake, there's no way he's going to lose this fight.
Oh, it is nice to fight Monkey God again. I've missed you, buddy. I've missed you. I genuinely think the last time I fought this guy was UFC 3. Like, I don't think I fought him at all in UFC 4. Yeah, I think UFC 3 was the last time that I saw him. That's when the Bobblehead was at an all-time high. But yeah, it's nice to be back in form. Sit him down right there. Just keep it going. This has been a fun session. I'm actually I'm very energetic right now. I have a lot of energy, so we're gonna be able to pump out quite a few fights, I think.
Box him again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get you. You will slip into one of these shots, and you will die. There we go. Ducked into it.
And now look at what's happening. Now all Marshall has to do, the work's been done. The heavy workload has been done. He's done all the work necessary in 2.5 rounds. Literally. Three rounds, I'm sorry. In 3 rounds. He's done all of the work he needs to do against Monkey God now. He's just going to let him slip into shots. Because he knows, hey, he's going to be moving his head off. But any shot that Marshall lands now is going to either sit Connor down, or it's going to hurt him bad. So now all Marshall has to do is play that same patient style and wait for Monkey God to either slip into it or for a shot to land, and then it's going to hurt him.
Come on, brother. Because there's no rhyme or... He's not actually like slipping on reaction. He's just... He will run into something. Only a matter of time. Well, I gotta say, that was fun. That was entertaining. I enjoyed that fight a lot.
Now look at that face Marshall's making right there. He's like, oh, you mother, I got you. As we would say, we got him. We effing got him. I can't cuss because they demonetized my video, but Marshall, that face right there says it all. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you beat the most annoying play style that you can have. Literally, that's how you do it. You take those tips, the tips that I just gave you in the video, the things that you heard Marshall say in this video too, you add them to your game, so that way when you run into annoying fighters like this, it's no sweat. You know how to deal with it, and you're going to get these easy work dubs from guys like this. But all right, guys, that's going to be it. Make sure if you guys are new to the channel to slap that subscribe button, as well as slap that like button if you love MMA content, because I do post UFC 5 content on this channel daily, as well as UFC content when like big things happen in the UFC. I try to make videos on that as well. But like I said, if you guys haven't peeped this this series out, the Road to #1 episodes on Marshall Mind's channel, definitely go and do that, because you can learn a lot from these fights, like this one right here. Like I said, I'm going to leave the link to his channel in my description, in the description of the video. So make sure you guys go and sub up to him. But until the next video, guys, take it easy. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from. And I will see you guys in the next video.